Good morning guys, what's up channel, how are you going? Hopefully good as always. It's Wednesday morning right now, 20th of September, and today I finally decided to jack up the car and start working on it. So today's goal is going to be to mainly replace the rocker cover gaskets, the spark plug tube seals, and the spark plugs and the leads. So this I need to be replacing because it's been misfiring, so I did a bit of investigation, different driving styles to find whenabouts it misfires, and that's how I pinned down it's the ignition cycle. I pulled the leads out, had a quick geese, absolutely soaked in oil, so yeah, that's how I knew it was the spark plug tube seals. On an EJ, because it's horizontal, the oil finds its way down to the burrows and it will get in there and whatever. So spark plug tube seals, they're very common to go on flat fours. I mean, 220,000 Ks without it being replaced. It's about time. Let's get into it. Valve cover set. This is all you need for your single cam 2 litre EJ20, and this one's in my 2000 Subaru Liberty GX, so it's all-wheel drive. Okay, so this is our main gasket, which is going to be replaced because we're taking it off. These are the spark plug tube seals, and this is what prevents the oil going up into the tube that the spark plugs go in. It's ruined the lead, it's ruined the plug. And then you got this one, there's 5 of these, and these are the washers for each side of the rocker cover. So here's our new leads. These are silicon ignition leads, everyone has silicon ignition leads. These are Australian branded Eagle silicon leads, and they suit my engine. They also suit the 2.2 and the twin cam 2.5 litre EJ25. Also need to replace the spark plugs, so I've got 4 of these. BKR6E-11. So dash 11 stands for 1.1 millimeters gapped. So when it says dash, it means it's already been pre-gapped to 1.1 millimeters. But if it says in the specific fine print, you know, like you need to actually gap your spark plugs. So this is good. Most of the spark plugs already come pre-gapped because it's user friendly, but some mechanics like to gap their own spark plugs. Those performance gains though. So anyway, let's get cracking on this. It is also good as well that whenever you're doing a job like this, you need to always have your manual ready. Okay, so I just got the car up and I got the fan on, so it's gonna be good. Okay, so I just went ahead and I just got the battery disconnected. It's pretty much the process that you want to do, otherwise you want to electrocute yourself. So this is on there, and you want to get your tool on the end of this nut to loosen the terminal. But you want to do the negative one first, and you want to make sure that when you got your bolt on that and you're loosening it, that your tool doesn't hit anything else metal. Once you get that off, the terminal pulls out, and then you take the ground off, and it's completely disconnected. You're then safely able to go over to the positive terminal and do the same process. But I just wanted to show you guys how you safely disconnect your battery without 12 volts, you know, electricity through you, like Here's our battery tie down off with its hooks, goes underneath, hooks on, and then you bolt it down. That's out. See where this earth is? This earth has a bolt that goes from this to the chassis, so I've just taken that bolt out to take this off, but not to lose the bolt. I've put the bolt and the washer that it came with back into the side of the engine bay so we don't lose it. I'm also going to go take everything out, like this battery tray, I think, or whatever it is, and clean all in there, clean all this, and clean the battery and all the things to do with the battery, and that's going to be really good. This green clip down here, you want to pinch that as a tab, and you pull that out, just like that. So you got the pump unplugged. We can take these 2 top bolts out. These are 2 10mm bolts, and everything on a Japanese car is like, you'll get away. If you want to buy tools for your Japanese car to work on it, like literally, like all you need is like a 19mm, a 14mm, an 8mm, and a 10mm. Makes them very easy to work on. If you've seen other tools, you know, you've got Imperial, you've got Metric. I don't really like Imperial. I think it's confusing, but Australia used to be Imperial, you know, before Metric came along. So then now the pump is free. So you've got this rubber line here which goes to the jets. You just want to unclip that. It just sits on clips, just so it's not loose, but you just want to make it easier for yourself to lift it up and out. you know, you're not really doing it inside the engine bay because there's electrical components, especially as I'm doing it now over this fuse relay here. Really bad. Oh, just go for it. Get this hose off here and just pull it off like that. And there we go. We put our bolts back in so we don't lose those. So we'll have our fuses, there's our fuse guide, and inside is the tool to get the fuses out with. This side is the side of cylinder 2 and 4 rocker cover, and there's our single camshaft going down, and you've got the rockers and the valves at the top. With the boxer engines is you've got to understand the layout to be able to sort of really understand them and work on them, and it helps to not make a mistake as well, because they're not like every other engine that you see every day. There's this hose here which attaches to it. So what I'm going to do is, you know, that needs to come out to take it off. So I'm going to follow that up, see where it goes. It seems to just be like a, it goes to the air box here, where the air filter is. So I'm thinking it's just Subaru's method of cooling their rocker arms, you know, like an added cooling extra. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get this whole intake manifold set up off. To start, we want to get these 2 front bolts out, which again, 2 10mm sockets. Now that just folds out like that, and then there we go, that's our top. Put these bolts back in the frame again, so I don't lose them. Now we want this out. Alright, so as we need a bigger bolt, I've switched it up to the bigger ratchet, 1/2 inch ratchet, and a 1/2 inch extender. I don't know how long the extension is. 12mm metric socket. And we're going to get this bracket out here. When I take this off with the bracket, I make sure there's a bit of red, white paint there, which represents, obviously, you know, like, that's where it should be when it's tight. It's like their manufacturer's marking. So when I take this off, I make sure it's not connected to anything else. Like if I take this bolt out, only what I want to come off comes off, not something else. And it's things you got to look for when you take stuff like this out. So I've gone and had a look underneath the car to see where this bolt is attached to, because this bolt could be, I mean, it's something you can go and look up in your manual if you had the time, but you can always just go and have a look around and see. But there might even be something between the chassis and between the top of the car and the underneath of the car. It might be holding something inside the body. So just, it really pays off to go and have a look. So definitely get a manual for your car, it really helps. 1/4 inch ratchet. There we go, that comes off, and there we go, there's our super restrictive stock. Like, there's even a bushing there for that, that's ridiculous. Like what? Because that's a whole bunch of air. Maybe it's to do with the pressurizing. Okay, so I'm just gonna start to pull these leads out. So we've got we're dealing with cylinder 1 and 3 here. They come out, they go down here, there's this clip under here, and then they just pop right out like that. I'm going to pull them off here. I'm going to do one first, and then you just fold it down in there like that. We take out, so that's gonna be good. And that's what I'm talking about. There's oil all on the end of that lead, and there shouldn't be oil on the end of that lead. Same process here. And this is the longer one. Throw it on the end of that like that, and throw it in there. Just have a feel around for it. Now there's room, so I'm going to get a longer extension. Look at the oil on the end of that already. That's how much oil is down there. Alright, now we've got a longer extension on there. Get it over the spark plug socket there. You can feel it. Slowly loosen it up. There we go. Here it comes. There it is. Right. Old spark plug. There's oil coming out of that. up here's the fuel rail. So these are the fuel lines. Okay, so here it comes. If I learnt from the last one, you want to have your rag at the bottom ready to catch it all. There we go. Really bad. This is the intensity of it. Look at the amount of oil on that. And then this, when this drips out, this just drips out. It starts to just drip out. Just straight oil. Okay, so I actually need to end up taking out the main fuse relay box and the harness for the alternator. To do this, you just want to unplug these two. These are connected to the loom. So here's your first little blue clip. There we go. That's a bit of old tape. We don't need that anymore. These are for the AC condenser. Nice and simple. We've got our two there, which is connected to the loom, and then up this end to unplug your alternator. There we go. Now the only thing connecting this still is that little green clip on the other side there. You just pinch. Very gentle with this. I say as I break it. There we go. You want to be extremely gentle with that, as I just snapped that side thing which pushes that up and down. So you want to be extremely gentle with the whole loom. As you just saw, I snapped one of those off, but it still works. But you just want to be very, very, very gentle with it. Okay, so I don't know where to start, but really starting to understand the struggle now, because to get to the spark plugs on this side, you need to actually take this whole fuse relay out. To get the fuse relay out, it goes all the way down and around there, connects to the battery terminals all the way around there, and it's also attached to the starter motor like plugs and stuff. So that goes, it feeds up through annoying this brake line bead AC condenser, goes up, plugs into there, and then plugs in, right? That's the thing. But to get this out, you needed to take the clip off. And then you get to this stage where you've got this oil filler thing, and it's like, okay, so I'll just take these two bolts out holding it on, and I can get the loom out. To take this, the other bolt on the other side, easy peasy can get out. To get this out, it hits this shield here, which covers the fuel rail. So I'm thinking, okay, I'll take that out, and then I'll swivel it around so I can get it out. No, still hits it. So I thought, right, well, I'll have to take this off when the valve cover is off. So annoying. This fuse relay, I'm not actually taking it out. I'm just going to gently fold it to the side, just so that I can get the spark plugs out. Well, everything is going good with the change. I just need to keep track of everything that I'm doing, make sure I don't forget anything that I'm doing. Just wanted to check the torque specifications for the bolts on the rocker cover, or valve cover, because we've got a torque wrench, and I want to make sure that that's all correct. But honestly, I really understand now what everyone's talking about with the flat fours, pain in the bum. But hey, it's that sound is what I'm after. I love that sound. Anyway, guys, I'm just gonna sit down for 5 minutes. Maybe go and have some lunch, I don't know. So this is really good. In the manual here, it tells me all the specifications, like torque specifications for each and every bolt. So we got wheel lug nuts are 98, Newton-meters of torque, spark plugs are 20, oil drain plug is 41. So I can rip out the torque wrench, and when I put it back on, I'll be able to set it to that, so it's correctly. I just want to sit down for 5 minutes. Can you move? Hey, Dingles. I just want to sit down and have some lunch. I might have some wrap bread with some salami with some wrap bread, some butter and Vegemite. And then butter, Vegemite, salami, fold it up like a burrito, throw it in the grill, push it down to some Fast and Furious. Even better. Okay, so I'm in the lounge room, and I just hear trampling in the bush. I'm like, okay, who's that? Coming out, come out, have a look. thinking someone's going to be standing there in the bush or, you know, at the front door or whatever. No, it's a goanna. And I'm like, so yeah, you'd get a cow, you'd get a goanna, you'd get a snake, you'd get a bird, you'd get a wallaby, you'd get a bull, wombat, possums, owls, bats, you name it, they're here, dude. Honestly, it's ridiculous. This farm life, boys. This is just death right now. This is ridiculous. I've just got to sit here, do this, underneath the car, until it comes out. Again, part of that EJ lifestyle. I also had to remove the lower drip pan to access the... Oh, that's coming out now. Yep, that's out. Oh, there's oil there. Okay, yep. Hello, oil. Friendly. Where's that rag at? Just knock the camera, why don't you, bud? Okay, so that's ready to come out. We gotta do this top right one up here. What a nightmare. Honestly. No, there's like no room to do this. There we go. What a nightmare. All of the most of the nuts loose, so we've got a camera started. We got the middle one done first, then I did the top right one, then I did the top left one, and now I'm doing the bottom right one. But honestly, what you really need for this is a spanner, and you really need a ratchet spanner, because this is just death right now. This is ridiculous. This top left one up here. My fingers are done now, come on. Awesome. Okay. And there we have it. Just like that, the rocker cover is off and it's out of the car. Okay, so with this part, you can see here we've got all the rockers and the camshaft. So what you want to do now is you want to make sure that you clean every single bit of surface that touches the gasket that has seal. This engine's pretty clean, goddamn. Like, look how clean all those components are in there, all silver and all nice. Pretty surprised for 220,000 Ks. You know, all freshly, like, still, you know, machined and, oh, beautiful. I love that. Black seals are the main culprit here. Is there one of them? So down here we have got the rocker cover and all of its bolts. Here's one of them that didn't quite come out yet. So what I'm going to do now, what you should do next, is clean each and every one individual bolt, steel brush, wire brush, all of that. Make sure they're all clean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the one that was stuck on the outside here, that one, that's 5. Perfect. So my camera died, but I was about to say what you should do now, well, next, is completely degrease the whole thing, scrape it out, and clean it right down, so I'll be back when I'm done that. Basically, just degrease, and, you know, I use this little axe, like little picky thing, and I went all in and got all in the cracks and everything, and it looks really good now. So, but mainly in there is where you want to be sealing. Is there, all the connections is where you want to be sealing. So our next step is to get the new gasket, set up the new gasket.
Make sure this is the way it goes. That one up.
Okay, so we've got a new gasket on. You want to make sure that these two tabs are centered, which they are, and you got to just press everything down completely. Right, so that's ready to go back on. Now we want to get our tube seals on. Then you want to go get your washers set up. Okay, so we are running out of light pretty quickly, but what I've done basically is just degreased all my bolts, and I'm just starting to put the washers back on them as we speak. There's one. So there's 2 short ones and 2 long ones, and then there's one offset one for the middle. So with the washers, there's a lip on the outside, so you want to make sure they go through and they come out on the lip side. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put it back on. It's all degreased. We want to get our center one in, which is this one. Okay, I've got about another 5 minutes of light left, so I'm going to call it a night there, but I'll be straight out tomorrow morning to do it again. Where I've left off is I pretty much just need to finish this side, and I just need to put the torque wrench on it and get it correct, and then it's good to go. I'll, throw the leads in at the end and that, but that side will be good to go. We've got the other side I haven't touched, so yeah. So that's how long it takes, guys, to do it your first time, if you want to take your time doing it. Hopefully this video helped. I'm gonna go inside now and edit this video. This is gonna be part 1. I know that this video is going for too long already, so this is gonna be part 1. Stay tuned for part 2, which is gonna be talking down the other side and then doing the other side, and that hopefully should be enough content to finish the rest of the video up. So this is gonna be the end of part 1. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I definitely enjoyed, but pain in the ass, but now I know. So yeah, hopefully this video, thank you for watching very much, and I hope you guys enjoyed and learned something. And yeah, have a good one, guys. Like and subscribe. Okay, so here's a tip. Don't start your car in the morning, and then put the windows down, play music, start working on it. Disconnect the battery, and then at 6 PM when it's black dark, you need to put your windows up. You have to rewire your battery. So don't do that, guys. Forget about that, because I had to start it and it primed the fuel, and yeah, I don't know. It's just added another level of confusion that didn't need to be had. But typical mistake, guys. Don't do that.